Let's hear from Attorney Clank. How can good estate planning avoid costly litigation?
Hi, it's Peter Clank, Clank Law. I'm a trust and estates attorney, and I've been doing this for over 30 years. So, and there's nothing more exciting and sexy than trust and estates, right? I know. So anyway, today's subject is about avoiding costly litigation in trust and estates. So I'm still here in the Business Center in Miami. I did a video earlier today. I thought I was going to be on a plane and out of here, and I'm not. So I'm still here to make a video. Why not? So again, life throws you curveballs. Life, you never quite know. But that's kind of, we're back to the subject of litigation. If you do your planning, if you set things up and you really work well with your trust and estates attorney and be honest with them about the potential hot spots that might come up after you die, then they often can be avoided. So what type of litigation are we talking about? Well, every state has a specific court that addresses estate litigation, meaning fights between heirs, disputes over wills and trusts, and the assets within them. In Pennsylvania, it's called the Orphans Court. In New Jersey, they call it the Surrogates Court. It depends on where you're at. But there's judges that typically are focused on that area. There's no juries usually. It's just the judge, but it's still litigation. You got to file petitions. You got to put together evidence. You have depositions. It gets expensive. It really does. And let's face it, a lot of these disputes we're talking about are disputes between siblings because one of them is still mad about something that happened when they were 3. And that's just the way it is. And they're going to fight because this is the last chance they have to mess with each other because now mom's dead and dagnabbit, they're going to make that brother pay. And it just goes on. So how to avoid these things? Well, work with your trust and estates attorney. Be honest that maybe your kids don't get along so well, or somebody has a mental health issue, or there's an asset, piece of real estate is a very typical example that's going to be a problem in dividing up, or the sale of the problem is going to be the issue because one of your children lives in the house or just is emotionally attached to it. Vacation homes are prime examples. You know how much it costs to run your New Jersey shore home, right? Or your Pocono mountain place or wherever it happens to be. You know, it's expensive to run these things. Your kids have no clue. They really don't. So when you go, you know, somebody's going to have to pony up all that money. Well, you got to be honest. They might love this place, but who's going to do it? If you have one kid who lives in San Francisco and never comes to the Jersey place anymore, do they really want to own a piece of this thing and be responsible for the insurance and fixing the windows and putting the roof on, all the things that you take care of? You know, maybe not. And then you maybe created a situation where there's going to be a dispute between your kids because, of course, the one who loves the place is the one who doesn't have any money. And the one who's got money doesn't really care about the place. So you really have to think through how to address that, right? What's the exit strategy? You always need an exit strategy. This ties into my most recent video about working with online versus working with an attorney. If you're doing an online service, how exactly are you working with the computer, right, to sort out how your kids are going to end a dispute that might come 30 years in the future, right, in selling a piece of property in New Jersey? You really have to brainstorm and know your kids. And that's where you're working with a good trust and estates attorney. That's what's going to help you because there's lots of answers to this. There's lots of ways to address it. What's the best way to be with your kids? And then there's special needs kids, right? Setting up things for special needs kids and how that's going to be funded, who's going to handle things. How do you be fair with somebody who's a special needs kid, right? To make sure they're taken care of, but then you have the other kids. You don't want there to be a fight after you go especially if it involves somebody who can't really defend themselves from the other people. Let's face it, second marriages, the disputes between your kids and your second spouse or your third spouse. Look, everybody's fine right now while you're around because of you. Will they really get along after you go? Spelling out how long people can live in houses after you died, or what access they have to your funds, how things are to be divided up, how they're supposed to be used, in what amounts. These are things that all need to be brainstormed through. Otherwise, it will be a dispute. And let's go to the most simple thing. Most simple thing is just having a will and having things spelled out about who's supposed to be in charge and being honest about it. We have lots of disputes that end up being because people pick the wrong executor. They put the eldest person in charge because he's the eldest kid, even though he's the one that doesn't get along with anybody. And then, or just isn't up to the job, right? Everything lags. They just don't have the ambition, perhaps, just to get things done, and everybody else is mad, and then ends up in court. There's so many different things that can end up being a dispute that, look, this is just my mantra I came up with long ago. You want everybody to be able to at least have Thanksgiving together after you die, right? They don't have to like each other, but they got to at least be in the room with each other for a few hours, eat some turkey, a little gravy, and head out. Too many people, by not addressing issues they should in their wills and in their plan, end up creating a situation where there's a fight, and now people can't even have Thanksgiving together. They can't even stomach each other for 2 hours once a year. So you don't want that, right? It is a little bit of also my little mantra that maybe is not as popular, but you're going to be gone. You'll be dead. Let them be mad at you. Don't let them be mad at each other, right? Let your kids get along. Let them handle and be with each other. Don't tee up a fight that just can be avoided. So give us a ring. Brainstorm. That's what this is for, right? You talk to your trust and estates attorney. If you're in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, we're here. If you're anywhere else, find somebody like us that focuses on this area. Be honest and address the issues that are there. Draft around them. There's lots of different answers for your specific situation. That's why we have to understand it. So give us a call. We're happy to help you out. Or you can look at our website. It's clinklaw.com. Lots of blogs over years and years. I've been putting them up, addressing different issues. Maybe one is exactly what you're looking for. And then like and subscribe here. We'll be doing more videos. If you have a specific topic, an issue that you'd like to address, email me. I'd be happy to talk about an interesting topic. But anyway, you just be well. Remember, life throws you curveballs, right? Do as much planning as you can. You're going to end up in a business center in Miami someday. Your kids are, your spouse is. It's all going to be there. So a little bit of work ahead of time, and at least that curveball won't be any big deal, right? All right, you be well, and I'll talk to you again soon.